Howdy, I'm Brandon, and my goal is to help your snowboarding trip be as awesome as possible. And today, we're going over how to wax your own snowboard. Waxing your snowboard is super important to just help the snowboard slide nice and smooth on the snow. It'll help you from getting stuck on the cat tracks and those flat spots on the mountain, which is always a pain for snowboarders. And also, it helps keep your snowboard last as long as possible. There's only a couple things you're going to need to be able to wax your own snowboard. First of all, you're going to need a waxing kit. This is a Winterial waxing kit. It's $125-ish on Amazon, and I'll link it in the description if you're interested. And then also you're going to need something to hold the snowboard up. I like sawhorses, just makes it nice and easy, and you even keep the bindings on, which saves you a little bit of time. Alright, first off, the Winterial waxing kit, it comes with everything you need. And first thing you're going to need to do is go ahead and plug in the iron and let it just start heating up. And you want to put it on about 200, 225 degrees, kind of lower. It goes all the way up to 350, but if you get it too hot, you can end up damaging the snowboard. So the lowest temperature that you can actually melt the wax is the best. While the iron's heating up, you're going to want to wipe down the snowboard. If you've been snowboarding that day, or if it's been stored in your garage, it might be dusty and dirty. Just go ahead and get a rag or a washcloth and just wipe it down. You can even add a little rubbing alcohol to pull out a little bit more dirt. Alright, first off, we're going to use the scraper. I'm going to go from tip to tail, and we're going to pull all the old wax off of the snowboard, because it collects all of the dirt and everything, and if we just wax over the top of it, it's just going to push all that back down into the pores of the snowboard. And just sweep off some of the wax. This snowboard's super dry, it really needs to be waxed, so not that much really came off. And one thing I like to do, because I wax my snowboard inside my house, is I put a trash can down by the tail to collect all the wax as I pull it off, just so I don't make a huge mess. Alright, now we're just going to take the iron and we're just going to melt the wax, and we're just going to drip it all along the edges and then a little bit in the middle. Alright, now that you've dripped wax all over the board, I just did one path around the edge and then a little zigzag pattern down the middle. You're going to want to smooth all out, make sure the wax covers the whole board. And the key to this is to always keep the iron moving. It's kind of like ironing your clothes. If you keep it one spot, you're going to burn your shirt. Well, this, you're going to end up burning your snowboard, and it can end up actually ruining it. So you got to be really careful with this part. Alright, next, now that we've covered the whole board in wax, and as you can see, let's go in nice little circles, keeping the iron moving and working all the wax into all the all the scratches and gouges that I have in this 10-year-old snowboard. And next, you're going to want to let the snowboard cool down to room temperature, and then I'll show you what to do next. Alright, now that the snowboard has cooled off, now it's time to scrape off the wax and then add a finishing buff to just maximize your speed on the slopes. And I like to start from the tip to the tail. Always go one direction with it, just so you don't put any weird grooves in your base. And one tip, once you get a bunch of wax built up on the scraper, you just go to the edge, choose the edge of the snowboard to get it off. Scraping the wax off is the hardest part of this process, but you just got to put a little bit of the elbow grease in, and it'll pay off when you're on the mountain. Alright, now that you got all the wax scraped off your board, you're going to want to take the buffing pad that comes with the Winterial kit, and you're going to want to go in little circles, and you want to move from the tip to the tail of the snowboard, and you're just going to be buffing it out, getting that base nice and smooth, just so you can have maximum glide when you're on the mountain. Just do nice little Nice little circles, almost like you're waxing a car. This helps to really push all that wax into the pores and remove any bumps that might have built up, like clumps of wax that got built up on the base. So to make it really smooth. And then, you know, the more time you put in this, the better it's going to be. But just at least doing a little bit is really going to help, and you'll notice the difference. And now that you have your board nice and waxed, if you want to get ready for your trip, click here to learn how to pack a snowboard bag.